Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all of Missouri students, sponsored by Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphones are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at MOACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, MOACAC.org. And now I would like to turn it over to the presenters.
All right, hello everybody and welcome to the UMKC StriveScan presentation. We are so excited you're here. I do want to let us introduce ourselves before we go ahead and get started. So my name is Hannah. I'm an admissions counselor at UMKC and I focus, this is going to be a lot, but I focus specifically on the School of Nursing and Health Studies, the School of Biological and Chemical Sciences, the School of Education, and the city of Wichita. So quite a bit. Originally, I started at UMKC though as the Greater Missouri representative, which means that I spent a lot of time traveling across Missouri and talking to students just like you all about UMKC. Let me kick it over to Sean, who can introduce himself.
Thank you so much, Hannah, for that awesome introduction. Like Hannah said, my name is Sean Fleming. I am a UMKC rep, and I actually cover that Greater Missouri central and southern Missouri territory that Hannah once had. So essentially all the high schools in the counties outside of Kansas City and St. Louis, and basically for all intensive purposes south of Interstate 70 is my turf. So so happy to be here, so happy to be presenting for all of you, and so happy to be talking about UMKC institution right in the heart of KC, in the heart of America. And so at UMKC, all students are welcome. You know, some words that students will use to describe UMKC and our UMKC community would be opportunities, limitless, welcoming, diverse, inclusive, or practical and professional. And so again, we have students from all walks of life, all over the state of Missouri, all 50 states, and I believe 79 countries. And so thank you for being here. All are welcome. As I mentioned before, UMKC is located in Kansas City, Missouri. It's a little bit confusing because there is in fact another Kansas City, Kansas on the other side of the state line. Of course, same metro area, but two separate cities. Our UMKC does have two campuses. And so we have our main Volker campus, which is in the Plaza area of KC. It's very centrally located in the Kansas City metro area. And then of course the Health Sciences campus, which is closer to about 2.5 miles off, closer to you know, the downtown crossroads region of KC. I think our location is so key. It just really means great networking, internship, and jobs for our students, current and our alums. 1,400 plus local and national companies recruit UMKC students, a fact we are really proud of. Additionally, I was going to mention our logo was originally made by none other than Walt Disney. I don't know if any Disney fans in the crowd, you maybe can see Mickey Mouse's face in that, but Walt Disney wrote the original, drew the original Casey the Kangaroo. And so clearly an important fact. We love our Casey the Kangaroo, and you kind of tell that looks like a Disney character. So kind of moving on here. Just some general facts and figures about UMKC. So just north of 16,000 students at UMKC. We have 14 academic units on campus, and spread across those academic units are 125 plus major programs. The average class size is going to be about 26 students. And so you'll find the student faculty ratio about 15 to 1. Again, I mentioned two campuses, NCAA Division I athletics. And again, going back to just our small class size. I think this is so beneficial. 83% of UMKC's professors hold the very highest degree in their field, and they also work in addition to teaching at UMKC, they also often work in their field, and they have direct ties to these industries and companies that they, teaching in the classroom. And so I think what's so great about being UMKC in a mid-sized university is just the fact that you'll have a relationship with your professor, probably like a first name basis. They'll know who you are, they recognize you, which is something that I think is really great. Those professorial relationships can be really beneficial for many years, sometimes even after finishing a college degree. So again, UMKC community, we really love our community, our diversity. As I mentioned, lots of countries representative. I think it's 79 this year, but nonetheless, we have students from all over the world that come to UMKC. Over 40% of our students do identify as students of color. Multiple LGBTQIA scholarships in addition, available. Lots of scholarship offers, but again, because UMKC really does value just our diversity, our inclusivity, and then, additionally, just making sure that we are reaching all students from all across the state. And, we really value having students from all walks of life. And I think, going back to Kansas City for a second, I think a lot of students that come to UMKC and live in Kansas City, I'm a KC native myself. I think we find that KC is a well-kept secret, and we want to hopefully keep it that way. I know it's an exciting day today in Kansas City with the Chiefs having just won yesterday, but really KC is really a great place. Feels like home. And, I think so many of our students, right when they come to campus, they say, I love this community. This feels like home. I have a great relationship with my professors. My class sizes aren't too large, and direct connection to, direct connection to some internships and jobs and some real hands-on work experiences. Additionally, about 1,200 of our students do live on campus. We have 3 dorms, 2 right on our Volker, our main central campus, and then 1 on the health sciences campus closer to the Crossroads and downtown region of Kansas City. So, ready to be a RU. I hope you are excited to explore the many possibilities to be a RU. I'm going to go over just a moment here. Going to go over the deadline to kind of get you a better sense of what it's like. And so we are again focusing on this fall 2021 semester, this fall 2021 entry term. So first thing we want to note is the application for the first-time college or transfer for the fall 2021 semester became available on August 1st of this year. And so, as I tell students often, it's really not too early to apply for admission to umkc.edu. For admission at UMKC, you can visit that at umkc.edu/apply. The free application for federal student aid, otherwise known as FAFSA, is going to open up on, hard to believe, Thursday is October 1st. So that will become available. January 15th is a really key deadline, just as our priority scholarships that's the deadline for priority scholarships. And it's important just we have automatic scholarships that can be really great benefit to help keep those costs down. And so we'll definitely encourage students to apply by this January 15th deadline, just to be certain that they are going to receive the automatic scholarships. Priority FAFSA deadline is going to be on February 1st. I think it's generally a really good rule of thumb to try to meet those priority deadlines. It's just often there is a first come, first serve, in particular on the priority scholarship. Some of those automatic scholarships could potentially not be available after that January 15th deadline. So moving right along, the priority scholarship deadline for transfer students is going to be February 15th of 2021. March 2021, you will see the financial aid packages will begin to go out. Additionally, we ask you to submit that confirmation fee if you feel that UMKC is the right place for you. You want to accept your admission and submit that confirmation fee. It's a $150 fee for first-time college students and a $50 fee for transfer students. May 15th is the deadline for that being refunded. Orientations will be in June, and often that will provide an opportunity for students to set up their classes, meet with an advisor, all that fun stuff, getting yourself prepped for that fall 2021 semester. And then finally, the June 15th is our deadline for fall semester application. So, we occasionally do get students that maybe last minute decide, like, I don't want to go across the country. UMKC might be the place for me. June 15th is that deadline to keep in mind. But again, really encourage any students to apply by no later than January 15th, just to make sure you're hitting that priority scholarship deadline. And then, believe it or not, folks, August 2021 will be here before you know it. So any questions on this timeline? We're happy to answer any questions. I see some in the chat. We'll definitely get to those at the end of our presentation. So previous slide was, of course, deadlines, but some of our other programs and academic units do have their own deadlines. So the School of Medicine, the BA/MD program, that deadline is November 1st. I think I will say that the BA/MD program is the tightest window of any academic unit on campus. It is just basically a 3-month window to apply. It opened on August 1st, just like all other applications at UMKC. But again, that is a hard close on November 1st. And so applying for the BA/MD, you will apply for just the general UMKC application. And then with that, there'll be a supplemental application where you can there's an essay portion, extracurricular activities, and then interviews for the BA/MD go on in February, selection in March. About 109 students are selected for that BA/MD, and I believe there's about 350 that are interviewed. Conservatory of Music and Dance also has an earlier deadline, a full 6 months earlier than that June 15th, which is again that standard deadline for admissions for fall 2021. So definitely pay attention to those deadlines if you're interested in any of the programs in the conservatory. And then finally, Honors College at UMKC can't apply until you are accepted into general admissions. You can include that in your application that you're interested in applying. That deadline is January 15th. And so interested in Honors College, make sure you are submitting those materials by January 15th. So just some of the kind of meat and potatoes of the freshman admissions criteria. We look at the high school core curriculum, which essentially, just to break that down, we're wanting our students to have 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies, 2 years of the same foreign language, and 1 year of fine arts. And so what you'll need to apply is on the online application, umkc.edu/apply. We do accept the common application. Just one thing to keep in mind is that is kind of separate from UMKC. If you had any issues with that common app, you need to chat with the folks at Common App. You will need to pay that application fee. We will need to see transcripts. We can accept the unofficial just for starters, but then of course, eventually we'll need your final official transcripts. And then if you do wish to submit those test scores, we will need those test scores. UMKC is largely a test optional school. Of course, many of our programs do require it, but if you wish to apply to UMKC test optional, you can do so by indicating that on the test scores section of the application. You have a minimum 2.75 GPA may be admitted to UMKC without test scores. So again, does not include students interested in any certain programs. Of course, the automatic scholarships, UMKC student athletes or homeschool students. And then of course, just really quick on the transfer admissions criteria, any student with 24 or more transferable credits with a minimum of 2.0 GPA. Of course, some programs have different GPA standards, can grant you admission to UMKC. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to my colleague, Anna.
Wow, thanks, Sean. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking a little bit about tuition, everybody's favorite topic. So important things to know. The first thing is that Missouri and Kansas residents both get in-state tuition. That's huge, right? That's 2 whole states, not just one. And the cool thing is that you can actually live on the other side of Kansas, so all the way in Colorado, which is a real place, in Kansas, and still get in-state tuition with UMKC. So really cool. I know we're talking to Missouri students, but if you know anybody in Kansas, let them know. Any of these blue states are the Heartland rate, so that's 50% more than in-state tuition, and then anything else that's not listed is out of state. Here's a breakdown of that. So Missouri, Kansas rate around 10,000, Heartland rate is 50% more than that, non-residents is 25,000. There you go. Important things to know, Sean did cover this, but automatic scholarships are huge. Really what they mean is if you meet a specific criteria and you apply on or before January 15th, you will receive those scholarships, no questions asked. That's really handy because you don't have to fill out a separate application. You don't have to write an essay. You just need to apply before January 15th. We also have more competitive scholarships as well, and I'll talk about those in the next slide. But competitive scholarships, of course, are a little bit extra, write an essay, and often academic unit scholarships are awarded as well. That means that if you have a specific major, often you can get scholarships based on what you major in. Here's one that I like to share. This is the Trustee Scholarship. This is one of the biggest scholarships, well, it's the biggest scholarship that UMKC offers. This is the Big Kahuna. It offers full tuition fees for 4 years, housing for 2 years, then $2,000 housing stipend for 2 years, a $500 stipend for books. There is a separate application required. The application deadline for it is December 1st, and you must meet 2 of 3. You must have at least a 30 ACT, a 3.5 core GPA, or be in the top 5% of your class. And you could not be in the 6-year med program, the pharmacy program, or the architecture program. So again, this is our biggest scholarship, and I highly, highly encourage you to apply if you do indeed meet this criteria. It is extremely rewarding, and it does pay for all of school. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you check out the Trustee Scholarship. You can find all of this information on our financial aid website. Another cool thing, the Advantage Grant. This ensures tuition is meant for Missouri residents. Students are Pell eligible, they must be full-time enrollment, and they must complete the FAFSA by April. All right, so here are a bunch of pictures. And what I'm gonna do while we're looking at these pictures is talk about campus life. Sean touched on this a little bit earlier in his section of the presentation, but what I really wanna talk about as well is the fact that our students have a ton of stuff to do. This is a very vivid and very bright campus. There are lots and lots of fun things always going on. Not only are we in Kansas City, which means that our students have access to all the fun things going on within Kansas City, such as the Chiefs games. There's also lots of things to do on campus as well. For example, we do have Greek life. We have extremely active Panhellenic organizations. We have sports. We are a D1 school. So our biggest sports are actually basketball and soccer here. We do not have football and baseball because we have the Chiefs and we have the Royals. So what do we need a soccer and basketball team for, or a football and baseball team for? We have 300 student organizations. So pretty much anything you can think of, we have. And we also have a lot of different opportunities for students to get involved in their own desired majors. So lots of different clubs. One of the biggest ones I can point out, we have a lot of students who come to UMKC who are interested in medical school, right? We're known for medical school. We have a very active pre-med club. And so students from all majors come together and join this club and do all kinds of things. It's really active, it's really fun. And I highly encourage you, no matter where you go to college, to get involved. one of the biggest issues I had when I first started college is that I didn't join any clubs. I was kind of scared to get out of my comfort zone. So I really encourage you, again, no matter where you go to school, to get involved. And UMKC has 300 great student organizations that you can get involved in the minute you step foot on campus. So now you know a little bit about UMKC. What next, right? Well, there's a ton of options right now. Right, different. Because of that, we have a lot of different opportunities to connect with us, not just in person, but virtually as well. We have in-person visits. We have on-campus tours as well that are in person. You can also do virtual versions of those. So you can have a virtual presentation, which is called a revisit. You can do a virtual college tour, so you can actually see in the comfort of your own home what UMKC looks like. We have virtual Discover UMKC Weeks, which is a week-long full of activities. It is structured so that it is after school, so you don't have to worry about missing anything. Typically, it's from like 3 to 7-ish, but they're pretty much every month, and you can learn all about different opportunities at UMKC more in depth. We do have virtual academic unit sessions as well. So if you are interested in a specific major, you can sign up for those. We have Rooflix on-demand content. No, that's not movies. They're informational videos. So if you don't want to talk to somebody face-to-face or in person, you can watch videos and learn more about UMKC. There's all kinds of stuff on there as well. It's not just academic units. You can learn about the Honors College, or you can learn about Greek life. There's all kinds of things to do. Other things you can do on our visit website, you can chat with a UMKC student. You can chat with a current person who is in UMKC right now, and we'll tell you all about it. And you can do one-on-ones with admissions counselors like Sean and myself. So if you want to chat with us and talk to us a little bit more after this presentation, we do have one-on-ones. You can find all of this information on our visit website. That's umkc.edu/visit. Finally, before we start taking questions, I encourage you to contact us. Sean and I are both here to help you, and the rest of our admissions team. We are here to answer any questions that you might have, big or small. We're here to help. So I want everybody who is watching this presentation to write down this information. And then if you have any questions, give us a call, email us, chat us. We have a chat feature on our admissions website. Get in touch with us. We love to help, and we're here to assist you in all of your college needs. And with that, Sean, I believe it's time for questions. So do you want to go ahead and go up to the Q&A and see what we got? Let's start rocking and rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. Jess, I got a question here. Can you briefly discuss the School of Pharmacy, please?
Yes, I sure can. And Sean, you can pop in whenever you want. So we do have a wonderful School of Pharmacy at UMKC. Essentially, it is 6 years. So you do 2 years of prereqs and then 4 years in the pharmacy program, and there's a PharmD program. One of the coolest things I think about the PharmD program is that there are actually 3 separate options for pharmacy school. We have 2 satellite pharmacy schools in Columbia and another one down south in Springfield. So those schools, again, that's after your first 2 years of prereqs, you can choose to actually go to either Columbia, Springfield, or Kansas City. And that is essentially designed so we get more pharmacists in rural communities. So that is the brief version of that pharmacy program. Important things to know, again, you would apply as a pre-pharmacy student. So if you're interested in the pharmacy program right now, you can apply for that. There is a reserved pharmacy program where you can apply as a senior. You must have specific ACT and GPA requirements that I don't remember off the top of my head. But essentially that is a reserved program where you can get accepted early and then have your seat saved. If you have more information or want more information about it, I highly encourage you to sign up for a pharmacy visit. Amanda, who essentially runs pharmacy admissions, is amazing. So highly encourage you to do that.
Yeah, and kind of on that note, the academic info sessions on our website, so all of our academic units, one of which, of course, is the School of Pharmacy. Those are great, typically once, sometimes twice per week sessions, umkc.edu/visit. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see academic info session, and you can click all of our academic units and see when their sessions are available. So again, great way to kind of learn a little bit more about like what's it like to be a biology major in the School of Biological and Chemical Sciences, or what's it like to be a sociology major in the College of Arts and Sciences. And so really good content here. Got a question here, Hannah. I'm going to go ahead and take. What are the dorms like? So I'm proud to say, after my my dorm experience, I shared a restroom with about 30 or 40 other people on my floor. Our dorms are not like that. We have what we call as the Jack and Jill style dorm. So whether you are coming to UMKC with someone you know, your friend, someone you want to live with, or whether you're going to do do the kind of I don't want to use the word random, but get paired with somebody, you will share a bathroom with that person, your roommate, and then across the two other people that share the bathroom. So it's basically both dorms have access to the same bathroom. So you're really only sharing it with 3 other people. As we mentioned in the presentation, about 1,200 of our students do live in the dorms. I can just tell you, as Hannah kind of mentioned this before, but just insofar as getting involved, the dorm experience, I think, is great. I think that it's a great way to meet people really quickly. You might see someone in one of your classes, and then later you figure out you're living on the same floor in one of the dorm halls. Again, great way to meet people. Often Res Life does like kind of events and icebreakers and those sorts of things just to get students acclimated with one another. But more info, happy to follow up. But yeah, again, it's a great experience. Again, we have the Johnson and the Oak halls, which are on our Volker campus. Let's see here. So many great questions. Got a question here. Yes, we do accept A+ credits, and we do have a lot of transfer students at UMKC, and so I believe all of the community colleges around town. So we have MCC, Maple Woods, Longview, Penn Valley. I think I'm leaving one off, but we would definitely accept any of those A+ credits or prerequisites, which would transfer to UMKC. Additionally, if you are someone that you're thinking maybe you want to start at a community college and then transfer at UMKC, there's a great website we really recommend called Transferology. Great way to see if you're interested in maybe studying biology or getting a biology degree at UMKC, and you want to you want to make sure your credits transfer, and then also fulfill that degree. Transferology makes sure you're not taking any classes that do not transfer over.
Can I pop in, Sean, real quick?
Yeah, of course.
About that. So a quick note, we don't accept A+ credits. So if you if you have A+, we don't accept anything there, but we do accept it if you use your A+ somewhere else.
Right.
So to clear that up. So if you come in and you have A+ fresh out of college, that's great, but we don't accept it. You can use it though, and that we do accept. So if that's something you're concerned with, exactly what Sean said, you can always use that at community college.
I got a question here. Hannah, maybe you could help me out answering. What is your psychology program like? So as I mentioned, excuse me, psychology is going to fall within our College of Arts and Sciences, and that is, in fact, the most popular academic unit on campus, as the most students are there. I know that that is a very popular program on campus. Class size might be a little bit larger in some cases. What other important information do you think the students need to know, Hannah?
Well, I think, lots and lots and lots of schools have psychology, right? You're gonna find that when you're looking at schools, that most schools do have a psychology program. What sets UMKC apart is the fact that you can do a lot of things with that psychology degree. We have master's programs that people use psychology for. So we have an entire program that's specifically for people who want to be counselors, for people who want to help mediate family situations. So you can use that psych degree to go into grad school, which is what a lot of people use. The other thing that's really strong about the psych degree, I think, at UMKC is that UMKC is a very research-heavy institution. That's something that we're very passionate about. And so our psych students get a lot of opportunities to do research across the Kansas City community. So you're getting, if you're in the psych program, you're getting all these opportunities to research. You're getting, exposure to grad programs, and it's nice because it's, right down the street. You can learn all about it. But also you're in Kansas City, so there's plenty of opportunities to get job experience, get internships, do all kinds of stuff with it. That's what really sets it apart. The other thing too is that it does really well with double majoring or pairing it with other majors across UMKC. So a lot of folks go on and they get a psychology major, they get a double major in sociology, and then they're really well set up. So it's a really flexible program, and that's another thing that I like about it.
Another great question here. Can you explain honors college? Absolutely. So how would you best explain honors college? Honors college is for, as I see it, I think it's for students that really want that intellectual itch scratched. Often students in the honors college, there are additional assignments and things that students do. There are study groups where students read like academic articles. But essentially, it's if you're someone that really wants that academic itch scratched, you're comfortable with heavy workloads in addition to the classes you're taking. There are some great perks to the honors college. I know one of the greatest perks that the honors college students love so much is that they get to apply for, or they get to sign up for classes, I believe, a week before all other students, and so that can be really beneficial, especially if you're trying to get into a class that might fill up quicker.
Yeah, that's a huge perk. Honors students also have their own wing in the residence halls, so they can live together if they want. That's really cool. Other thing that's really cool about honors college is that they have their own study abroad programs as well, so you can do stuff with honors. Something that really, I think, got me really interested in the honors program, and something that I never thought about, is that that is something that looks really good on a resume. So not only is the honors college really helpful for learning how to manage your time while in school, that's something that looks great when you're looking for jobs, because that tells an employer, hey, this student can manage a workload, this student has critical thinking skills, this student is going to go above and beyond. So if you need any other any other reason to join honors college, I think that's one of the best ones.
We have, and just to kind of further that point, we have had some of our some of the companies that hire UMKC students as interns or as jobs, they have essentially come to UMKC and said, students that have that honors college experience really do stand out. And so that's definitely something to consider. And again, that is a separate application from the general UMKC application. You do need to be accepted to UMKC before you can apply for honors. See another question here. What types of majors do you have in music, sound, and film? First things coming to mind, I believe we have a music and film studies major in the College of Arts and Science. I might be getting that wording off, but there's a film media studies major, I believe, within our College of Arts and Sciences. Am I totally butchering that major name, Hannah? No, okay,
nope,
I'm not.
You're doing great. Yeah, there is a film emphasis in the communication. So that would be more what you're looking for. And then the question was music, right? There's also other music. There are plenty of music opportunities as well. The conservatory is actually really well known. It's one of the most well-known programs across UMKC, because that particular program, the conservatory, has been around for a long, long time. But the biggest ones there are performance. So you can major in performing. You can major in education, music composition. So if you want to create your own music, music theory, music therapy is another big one. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, there's plenty of opportunities for music. And if you don't want to do like music as a major, but you do enjoy playing it, you can join an ensemble and be able to scratch that itch if you're interested.
Just backtracking for a second, Hannah, we got another question on Honors College. Does Honors College cost more? No, Honors College does not cost you anything at all. It's an additional application, of course, and it's it's an additional set of like perhaps, you know, responsibilities, things that you will have to do, assignments. But again, that network of Honors College students is really strong. And then in addition to, you know, some of the peer review of academic articles, I know that the Honors College really is great about doing stuff around town in KC. I know that we have a lot of the breakout escape rooms. They do those kinds of things, movie nights. I know that that is really popular among the honors students. Let's see here. So I got another great transfer question. How does transferring credits from a community college to UMKC work? So we do have a transfer center on our website, and then in addition to that, or on that page, you can set up a transfer consultation. But I mentioned this a little bit ago, Transferology is a really great website. Again, if there's a certain degree that you wish to get at UMKC, but you want to start at maybe a community college, Transferology, you can create a free account. You can even, I believe you can sign up through Facebook or Google, and it gives you a pretty accurate portrayal of which of your credits are going to transfer to UMKC. And so would definitely encourage anybody that's wanting to transfer to UMKC from a community college to check out the website, transferology.com. I mean, I think we even have links on it on our website and perhaps on the Transfer Center at UMKC. But again, that's going to give you a very pretty accurate depiction of what your credits are going to transfer over.
Yep. It's important to know too that UMKC has a lot of transfer students. Again, we're a very diverse campus. We have all kinds of folks. So if you're interested in transferring over, you're not going to be the only one. There's plenty of people also who've transferred. And so just keep in mind that if you do have questions about that process, please contact us. We do have, as Sean mentioned, a transfer center. You can check that out on our website. And then we do have a transfer admissions counselor that deals specifically with transfer students. So there's lots and lots and lots of resources that are available to you.
Got a question on biology. So biology would fall under, this is Hannah's specialty, falls under the School of Biological and Chemical Sciences. The question, what subjects do you look for in a biology major? Well, Hannah might be able to talk in greater detail. I just know there's so much opportunity and potential within the School of Biological and Chemical Sciences. I know that we have some students that will kind of gear towards that healthcare route, and some students will kind of go to that research route. Again, UMKC is a 21st century research institution, but there is lots of opportunity for biology majors at UMKC.
Yeah, Sean, you nailed it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Other things too, if you're interested and you're like, what do I need to prepare for biology at UMKC while in high school? My biggest piece of recommendation is just to take the science and just try and learn as much as you can, because first of all, there's nothing wrong with learning. You should learn, but also it helps you prepare for college, just because science in college, it typically is a little bit different than science in high school. So take all of the science, learn all that you can. Like Sean said, biology and chemistry as well are great pre-tracks. So that if you're interested in becoming a dentist, UMKC is the only public dentistry school in Missouri and in Kansas. So if you're interested in becoming a dentist, you should check us out. Biology and chemistry, again, are great for dentistry. They're great for medicine. They're great for all kinds of things. They're also great if you don't want to do that. We have a lot of folks who come and they're like, I want to be a doctor. And then they take one anatomy class and they say, never mind. But they like science. And biology and chemistry is a good place for that. Within that school, you can basically only major in biology and you can basically only major in chemistry. There are a couple of specific tracks that you can do, like bioinformatics and things like that. That is what you choose typically your junior year. So the first couple of years, you're just taking science classes. You're just learning all about it. There's classes that help you figure out what you want. So if you don't want to do, like, if you took that anatomy class and like passed out because of blood, there's actually a seminar that's specifically geared for biology students who don't want to do medical, and same thing for chemistry. So I don't know if that was exactly what you were asking, but that is the information I have. I think that program is really strong, especially if you're interested in any kind of science.
Another question here, Hannah, on the trustee scholarship. Is pre-dentistry unavailable for the trustee scholarship? No, if you're interested in pre-dentistry, so pre-dentistry is actually going to fall in our College of Arts and Sciences. It is a kind of a pre-health track, which is it is a great track to kind of prepare you for that mindset of what would be dental school after. But no, that would be available. So if you're wanting to apply for the trustee scholarship and you're wanting to major in pre-dentistry, I definitely go for it.
Yep. Great. Good questions. These are really good.
Got another question here. Do you have any majors in marine biology? I don't believe UMKC has marine biology. I'm trying to think. Environmental science would be pretty close. Perhaps biology would be pretty close.
We actually, it's funny you should ask that. So yeah, we don't have marine biology because I think the closest like ocean-like thing is like the Ozarks, but we do actually have a couple people who go on to marine biology. A lot of times they major in biology here at UMKC, and because that education is so strong, they're able to get into marine biology school somewhere that actually offers it. So yeah, funny because again, we don't have an ocean anywhere. We're kind of landlocked, but we do have folks in grad programs for marine biology because they learned what they needed to at UMKC.
Got another trustee scholarship question. Do my best to answer this question. How difficult is it to get accepted in the trustee scholarship? So I believe that is like, as Hannah touched on this, the trustee scholarship is kind of like the big kahuna. That is like the big one. It's full ride to UMKC, room and board first 2 years, and then there's a stipend. I believe that 23 students are interviewed for this, and I believe that 7 are selected. And so this is one of the most competitive of the competitive scholarships. And so, I mean, again, as Hannah indicated, if you meet at least 2 or 3 of the criteria, 30 ACT, 3.5, is it 3.5 GPA? And 3.75 GPA and top 5% of your class. If you meet 2 of 3 of those, I would definitely encourage you to apply. I believe that those 16, so there's 23 that are interviewed, 7 receive the trustee scholarship. The 16 that do not receive it get a kind of like a runner-up. I believe it's an award of $2,000. And so you really don't have that much to lose to apply. In particular, even if you're one of the runner-ups, you're likely going to be in that highest level of the competitive scholarships. And so you're looking at, well over, if you're a Missouri resident, well over half of your tuition will be covered with the combo of those scholarships. So great questions.
Yeah. I would also like to add about the trustees. If you're really feeling worried about it, but you meet the criteria, apply, just do it. Just do it. There's nothing that's going to hold you back. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't get it, but you would get a great interview experience because guess what? You're going to be interviewed throughout your life. So if this is your first one, great. Got it over with. So if you're really feeling worried about it, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Just do it. As I
Ooh, we're running low on time. I know. Another great question. Right. Do you offer study abroad? Yes, we do. Sure. Their office is so tremendous at working with students. I know that some students will think like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm afraid that I won't graduate on time, or the classes I want to take are not going to be available in whichever country it is. But yes, absolutely, UMKC does. The Office of
it's SAGE, Student Affairs and Global Engagement, or Study Abroad and Global Engagement. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we do offer that and highly encourage that experience if that's something you're looking at.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Do we have animal science? I don't believe we do. Again, I think environmental science and the College of Arts and Sciences would probably be the closest to that. But again, if you're interested, I would check out some of the majors on our College of Arts and Sciences, as well as perhaps the School of Biological and Chemical Sciences might find something that really piques your interest there. Again, the biology degree is really invaluable at UMKC. Let's see. He's got an education question. What is your secondary education program like? So of course that is going to be in our School of Education, which is one of our academic units. Let's see here. Hannah, what other information do we think that we need to know on the secondary education?
Yep. So essentially, our secondary education program is a master's degree. So if you're interested in teaching middle school or high school, you would major in whatever you're interested in teaching. So if you want to do history, you'd major in history. At that point, by your junior issue, your senior year, you're going to be starting classes to get your master's degree in teaching. So in junior, senior year, you start taking those classes in the School of Education. You do have to spend about a year outside of that traditional 4 years, so about 5 years total getting that master's degree to teach, but then you're getting paid more. So it's a win-win there. But we do also offer pre-education or pre-elementary and elementary education, and those do not have master's degrees. Good questions. Lots of variety. I like this. This is fun. All right, I think we might be wrapping it up.
Yes, thank you so much, Hannah and Sean. This was great information and a lot of really good questions that everybody had. I just want to thank everybody for joining us. And when you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, once again, this is one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at MOACAC.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recordings as well as other session recordings at MOACAC.org. Thanks, everyone. Bye.